Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1107.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about the new credit score rules that will allow more people to qualify for mortgages. This is big news because the FICO score, or Fair Isaac Corporation score, known as FICO, is changing its rules, which governs the formulation of credit scores. As you know, your FICO score can affect any loan interest that you're paying, such as on your mortgage or car loan. Fair Isaac said it's changing its rules to better serve the demographics of borrowers, and that their new criteria will make it easier and cheaper for more people to borrow. That will allow about 10.7 million additional people to qualify for mortgages. On Monday, the Federal Housing Finance Agency, or FHFA, said that it's going to require mortgage lenders to incorporate credit scores from VantageScore when evaluating potential borrowers. That means that the new FICO score is going to include things like a borrower's rent, utility, and phone payment histories. That's going to allow more people to be able to borrow because not everybody has a real robust credit score, but most people have paid rent, utility, and phone bills. So it's going to help anyone who's been responsible paying those bills to qualify for other loans more easily. And that's good news because about 15% of home buyers are declined for mortgages because of excessive tightness due to not enough credit history. The good news is, for the average consumer, the change will probably add about 25 points to the credit score. Fair Isaac Company was quick to point out that this is not about making it easier for people to borrow. Rather, the move was based on valuation. The old model was making credit seem too risky, leading to higher prices or higher interest rates that people had to pay. The new FICO 9 scoring system provides a more accurate picture of the risks that are involved in lending. So because of the broadening of the scope of what they're looking at, it's going to provide some relief to consumers. It could also help spur growth in the housing sector as more people qualify for mortgages at lower rates than they would have before. So let's look at some of the things that are impacted with this new FICO scoring system. First of all, if you have unpaid medical bills, they're going to matter less. Even if they're in collections, they will no longer impact your credit score. Previously, if you had any kind of an unpaid medical bill, even due to insurance delays or billing complications, it looked like the account was in delinquency. But in the new system, medical bills will not affect your credit score. That's good news given how common medical bankruptcies are. And FICO has decided that unpaid medical bills are no longer a reliable indicator of whether someone pays their bills on time or not and is a good credit risk. The second thing is settled or paid off accounts won't count toward your credit score. So under the old system, accounts that had been referred to collection, even after they had been settled or paid in full, were a negative on your credit report, which is so unfortunate because 77 million adults have at least one debt in collection. Under the new FICO system, accounts with a repayment plan in place will not factor into the credit score. And people who have been responsible users of credit for a long time but had trouble in the last several years are going to see their credit scores improve. And thirdly, FICO is changing the way it handles people with no credit history or little credit history. So previously, those people that didn't have a lot of credit history were considered to be bad credit risks. The new model will make it easier, especially for young people who haven't had a chance to build up a credit history, so that they can qualify for home loans and other lines of credit. While not all lenders are going to adopt these standards right away, it's widely believed that the industry will adopt these standards over about the next 18 months. So while there isn't a deadline set for the new policies to be implemented, it is going to be implemented over a multi-year process. And that's good because anybody who has been responsibly using credit can now have an expansion of analysis of their credit so that more lenders will see them as a good credit risk and want to extend credit to them. This will help more young people buy homes. People that have had unfortunate circumstances in the last few years, it will help them move forward. And some people think that it actually will impact about 10 million more people positively and allow them to qualify for mortgages. While most people color debt with the same broad brush, I distinguish between mortgages and credit card debt. Credit card debt is high interest debt that is often consumer debt. And that's something we want to be very careful about getting into. But mortgage debt is something that helps you buy a home, helps you put shelter over your family, and also helps you participate in one of the greatest wealth builders of the last several decades. So being able to own your own home and pay it off over a period of time and have a tax deduction for it, I don't see that as a negative. I see that as a positive. And as I've discussed in my books, there are ways that you can pay your mortgages off ahead of time so that you can reduce the number of years it takes you to pay a mortgage and cut back on the interest as well. Now, this year in particular, interest rates have gone up so fast that we're back at 20-year highs for mortgage rates. So I see it as a good thing that this extra credit analysis is going to allow more people to be able to qualify for their own home, which for many people has been the best investment of their lifetime. If you haven't yet subscribed to Be Wealthy and Smart, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified of new podcasts as soon as they become available. And don't forget, my entire podcast library is on my website at lindapjones.com/podcasts, where there are many more than what you can find on Apple Podcasts or your other podcast providers. There's a search box on my website so you can search for any topic to find exactly what you're looking for. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.